my name is Ryan, and for my birthday, my girlfriend got me a whole bunch of Amazon coins to buy some Hearthstone cards. And so I decided, why not do something stupid and just extremely open them. So, welcome. So what I did is I bought the $50 pack of each of the sets. Luckily, this was the last day of the winter promotion where I could get classic packs for 10 free packs when I got 50, so I definitely got those. And let's just start seeing what we get. Now I haven't started playing back when the beta first launched, but then shortly thereafter I took a break from Hearthstone until the pre-release for the Grand Tournament. And since then I've just really enjoyed just playing each one.
Golden rare.
So at this point with my collection, I do have all of the commons and most of the rares, and I'll be able to actually show you over here. I actually keep track of all the cards that I have. So I have all the commons. I do have most of the rares between the sets. At this point, I am just saving dust, getting epics and legendaries, and let's just see what we get here today. So unfortunately, all these the Knife Juggler was actually the first card I ever crafted from dust. I've been just being wrecked by it back in the beta, and it seemed worth it to get it. Since then, I've gotten many more of them. And on this pack, we have our first legendary, which is exciting.
Rare.
Demolisher was my first rare. I played it way more than I should have.
Oh, legendary.
And Prophet Velen, that would be definitely useful in some. I just started playing Control Priest, and that would definitely fit into that nicely. I'm actually almost excited to see epics as I am legendaries, because a lot of the legendaries aren't really playable, whereas a lot of the epics fit in very, very nicely with a lot of different decks. This will be my third Gorehowl. And I just realized I have...
Golden epic.
That is a card I don't have yet. Now I have a pretty one. And with 130 packs to go through, this is going to be a fun evening.
Rare.
And I actually see that people are watching this, so welcome. I don't actually own a webcam, so that's why you don't get to see my pretty face.
Golden rare.
I'm sorry. Void Terror, I actually have a very arena lock where I played Double Dread Steed. I already run one Void Collar and another Witness. And we have our second legendary for the night.
Rare. Oh, legendary.
I actually just got Captain Greenskin in the last Brawl pack. So while this is a duplicate, I got really excited when I drew him last week.
Rare. Golden common. Rare.
At this point, I don't have a complete set, so while I don't disenchant golden cards, I do like having
Rare. Rare.
And I do see the chat up, so if anyone wants to put stuff in there, I will respond. Because this being my first stream, I actually don't know what I'm doing. Archive Soul Pierce is a card I didn't have until fairly recently, which is why I haven't played much increased since
Rare.
in the beta when it was one of my favorite classics. Recently, some of the talk is that the idea of the pity timer, where within one set, on one server, you cannot go 39 packs without getting a legendary. So that means that we are pretty much guaranteed one more legendary in our classic packs, if not more. And Doomhammer, while a very good card, is I already have a playset. One of them is golden, which feels so good when I play it in the idle shaman that everybody hates right now. I do apologize for the microphone. It's a cheap $15 pick it up from Best Buy Logitech stick. So I do apologize for that, both the echoiness and the slight buzzing that you're going to have constantly. That is, if I set this up right and you can even... Now I am looking at this point for the Murloc War Leaders in order to complete my Murloc set. Which will get me the Workout. So then we play the terrible, annoying combo Warlock decks that have come to rise since League of Explorers came out. And Epics definitely are nice to get. Spellbender I already have. And I'm at that point when I open packs where it's very much about just managing your expectations of they represent dust. And you want to just save up the dust until you have enough to craft everything that's left, with maybe the exception of one or two unique cards that are critical to make a deck happen. Which will come into play when we get to our Grand Tournament packs, because I don't have any Twilight Guardians, and I want a few of them in order to make some Dragon decks. Is I've managed over the past year since I've gone playing is I have 2 golden shredders, which, because every deck runs shredders, every time my shredders get popped, I get to see pretty golden cards. It's definitely a good feeling when I pull those out of just random reader cards. Now, I'm not that good at Hearthstone, I just kind of play for fun. Although I do have, I do tend to get to about rank 10 in the season for the past 2 months, 3 months. Although that's kind of my current ceiling. I'd like to get to 5, get the golden epics because that's what I need to complete the set. But I'm definitely not to the point where I can start going for the legend hunt. And a Warhound. Even if I already have one, golden cards always take that because one day, 20 years from now, I'll have that cool golden set that everyone talks about. Just by clearing every day, clearing gold quests, playing the arena, and eventually you'll get it, right? It's not like they release new cards with such a great base that you have to dedicate most of your time to do that. Now we are getting towards the end of our classic stack, but we do know that we should get at least one more legendary, which I'm really hoping for either the Boss. That fits into certain type of decks, kind of. I'd like to pick up Warwalker Cho or Blood Mage Thalmus. Just some good utility, but also fun cards to just wreak havoc, especially in some of the brawls that are coming out. as I said, I had gotten these as a birthday gift. And birthday gift myself, I picked up a bottle of Woodford Reserve. So when you hear the glass clinking, that's what it is. It is funny how a lot of these cards that I'm opening now, when I first opened them, were a great cause for excitement. Now it's like, yep, I've seen those in creator runs, I have them in my deck, they don't fit the style that I'm currently playing. But sometimes just seeing a card that you were struggling to get for so long, it does feel good. And there's our third legendary from our classic packs.
Oh, legendary.
I can have some fun with King Mukla.
Golden common.
Double golden commons, which this is actually my first golden harvest golem, which, one moment. Apologize for the interruption. I was just advised that my stream quality is terrible. I lowered the master volume of the game, so hopefully you'll be able to hear me. I do apologize. This is my first time streaming. I basically set this up after I got home in about 30 minutes just by going to YouTube and seeing what was the first option. And here, with the Golden Harvest Golem, that looks awesome, and I would like to play that. And an epic. I know this card isn't played, but I do want to give it a shot, especially with some of the new beasts that have been coming out. It will... I think that even if it's not a truly competitive card, it might be fun just as a way to mess with people. And the ranks I play at, it can be effective. As long as you make good trades, you do win more games than you should with bad decks. So as we near the end of our classic packs, the odds of us getting anything in particular dwindle, but having gotten those few legendaries, it definitely feels good. I see all these packs that are just 40 dust at a time. And if my computer melts, oh well. I am running the, we'll save the last one. We'll move on through the way they're released. We'll start opening some GVG. So my collection is actually weakest in GVG. It has the most cards in it that I'm missing. And I'm least likely to get duplicates. So this is where I keep track of my progress. I've already completed the commons. GVG actually need the most rares, the least odds of getting of any one card being a duplicate, especially where it matters in the legendaries. The drawback is one of my first legendaries I pulled when I got back to playing Hearthstone was Dr. Boom. And pulling Dr. Boom out of an arena run definitely helped me. It inspired me to stick with him. Because he's way too powerful, and I just managed to pull him.
Golden common.
I actually think I needed another one of these. I've been thinking about making a priest deck that is focused around something like Prophet Melon, Malygos, and just comboing a ton of surprise damage with Shadow Bombers and the one from TGT with Inspire deal 4 damage to each player. Having another Shadow Bomber would definitely make that little surprise deck work. And epics are definitely a good thing to pull.
Epic.
A Golden Hobgoblin, while not the best card, it fits in that style of weird decks that shouldn't work but do. Especially with my new little Murloc Tiny Fins. I have been wanting this Demon Heart for a little while now. Considering crafting it, because I originally started playing Warlock recently with a Dreadsteed deck, because in my pre-order pack for the Grand Tournament, I pulled 2 Dreadsteeds. And a Demon Heart in a deck where you're guaranteed to have demons is nice and versatile. Golden Shrink Master was good for sticking in my priest deck. So, I don't know how long ago it was that I got a legendary from the Grand Tournament. So we should be getting one pretty soon. And here it is.
Legendary.
So this is a little bit unfortunate because I did craft a Mal'Ganis. In order to make that Dreadsteed deck work, the missing piece was Mal'Ganis, and that crafting him brought me from rank 18 up to the rank 12 in one season. So while pulling him out of a pack now means that previous investment it has lost value, I have no regrets with crafting him when I did. He was definitely a good card to get. I do like Iron Sensei. It's not a good card, but for a while I was playing a mech rogue that ran double of them. That just, when it works, it steamrolls, but it never works. I did need another Quartermaster, so pulling that is a good pool. I'm just double checking, making sure the stream looks like it's still going. And now we're to the fun part where I'm opening packs that, for me, don't hold anything too interesting, where I have to talk into the ether of the internet. Now, with me getting Captain Greenskin recently, and that completing my pirate set, Ship's Cannon definitely something I've been thinking about digging back into. Either as a rogue with gang up, or, well, a rogue with gang up. Mage it might work as well. Dark Whispers, while not really played and not considered that as awesome as it could be, has won me pretty deep into arena runs a few times because it's not expected and it can really be a burst when you need it. I like it, and I like bad decks. So with the better luck, we'll get at least one more epic out of, not epic, legendary out of our GBG set. Golden Velen's Toast will definitely get placed into my decks that I have made already. Recycle, while a good card, it does feel kind of weird how it's been completely replaced and improved in Priest within Tomb. Dual Exorcist is, was a very fun card to play in the card Death Rattle Brawl, just because you got so much extra stats out of it for free. And when they bring that back with Brand Bronzebeard in the deck, I expect to see massive Exorcists. And I like totem decks. I know they're not good. Now I have a pretty Vitality totem, which is, I think, was the one I was missing. I do have one Cogmaster bench, which is what made me make that Net Rogue deck. But another one's fun. And Clockwork Giant, one of the hardest giants to actually pull off, but with the way that the games have been slowing down since the introduction of Reno Jackson, definitely easier to play than he used to be. One of my earlier golden cards was a Golden Fell Cannon. Again, not a great card, but a card that I played because it was pretty. I do like a Power Mace, although I do think I already had it. And Crush. I started playing Warrior as a Fatigue Warrior before I really started investing in Hearthstone and didn't have enough cards to make a Control Warrior. And it's great to just have an answer for every single card your opponent plays, and then some. Which, with the Grand Tournament, just pulling a Just Heart True Heart definitely makes that archetype way more powerful. Power Mace. I have been thinking recently about what else I could do with Warrior. But I just really enjoy I took it from a Fatigue to a Reno style. And that's, this is a trap. Don't play this card. This card is the reason why my Rogue Mech deck was not great. Well, one of the reasons. But when I first got back into it and was playing that deck, it was before I really started watching much and knowing how Hearthstone worked at this point. Because I played during the beta, and then the game released, and I said, okay, I'm good. Until the Grand Tournament. And I do like Skybolt. Especially when you get a Shredder out. Really seeing. So the thing I really want out of my GVG packs is if I can pick up some Feign Death for a Hat Rattle deck. With it being an epic, it's fairly not a low chance of me pulling it, especially once we're getting down to this point of it. But pulling a play set of Feign Death would give me would allow me to play a deck that I've been thinking about, but hasn't really quite coalesced at this point. And one more legendary out of our GVG deck packs would be nice as well. So, Matter Bomber is a good card. I don't like playing. Too often it's the risk versus reward, it always goes against me. And we'll save our last GVG pack for now. And move on to the Grand Tournament. What I'd like to see out of here are some Arcane Blasts, the Twilight Guardian, and Nexus Champion Surratt. Definitely fits in with the control fatigue style that I like. And out of all the pack opening animations, I like the Grand Tournament the best. Just the way that it strains and bursts from it. I like that animation the most. And a Poison Blade, while not a good card, is a fun card, where it's fun to make a deck that works for you. And it's really fun when you get a Poison Blade out of a Blingtron, in a deck that's not, in a class that's not supposed to have weapons. Bolster is a trap that I think would be a Taunt Warrior could be a fun thing to do. Not sure how you do it. Whenever I make my own decks, they tend to not have that great of a mana curve, which punishes me. So a lot of the time what I do is I look at the Common Hearthstone and Tempo Storm, look at the decks that they put up, and then say, okay, what cards I have can replace the ones that I don't have and make this fun for me. So my mech deck runs Blingtron. My mech mage. Armored War. Joust. I have a theory that Joust never works when you need it. Whether for you, whether your Joust failing or your opponent's working, never works. And I know that's not true because it works for the other person, but for me, it never works. And is that one of our Twilight Guardians or Arcane Blast that I want? No, but it's a fun Paladin card to... Well, not Paladin. It's a fun card to make any class into Paladin if you really like. And here we have our first legendary in the Grand Tournament, which I crafted Justicar, so...
Oh, legendary!
Aw, I just had to say it. Unfortunately, that's another duplicate legendary, but I crafted Justicar at this point like 6 months ago, and I got my value out of it, so that's okay. But at this point, I definitely don't... You're definitely disincentivized from crafting once you hit a certain threshold. So this will probably be one of the last times I actually buy packs in these sets, just because it's just because of how it becomes more and more difficult to get the cards that you need. Of course, if I'm entertaining anybody and you'd like me to do this, we'll talk later.
Golden Common!
That's nice. It's not the best card, but just having a golden card to mix in with the couple decks where he exists, it definitely fills that niche. I like King's Defender. It's because I played a Fatigue Warrior that did not run almost no creatures with a low cost. That was one time I actually was winning jousts. And that extra weapon charge was nice until I got a gold. Sometimes, right after the pack opens, and there's that hint of a burst, and you start hovering over, there's just a hint of yellow, and it makes you think, did I get it? And then the pack opening animation fades, and you realize, no, it's just another Savage Combatant. Good card, but one that I have already. Cool animation, but not a card that has ever really worked for me. When I draw him in Arena, it just... It'd be nice if he works. He never quite works out for me. Of course, in Arena I draft more aggressive tempo-style decks because I don't know what cards are good, so you pick more aggressive cards. Sea Reaver is one of those cards that might, if we can ever manipulate our draws in Hearthstone, it's one of those cards that will gain new life. Like if there's ever a way that we can arrange or stack, if there's ever a way that they introduce a mechanic where you can stack your deck, cards like Sea Reaver and we found something. Flame of Leviathan will be a lot more useful. I do like Buccaneer, but
Legendary.
the Skeleton Knight maybe will, just for fun, we'll make a Joust deck that works. Right. A Joust deck that works that doesn't get past turn 4. Now we have another epic. Is it one of the epics that I'm hunting for today? No, but I do like that. In my pre-release of Grand Tournament cards, I did pull a Golden Beneath the Grounds. So when I first made a Mill Rogue, even though it's not the most effective, it's not the most effective to add cards to your opponent's deck when you're trying to mill them. It's fun. I like Fearsome Doom Guards. They're just big, solid, beefy minions that fit well when they come out of a Void Caller. Frequently, earlier in the game, you're happier to have your Void Caller, your Fearsome Doom Guard pulled instead of your Mal'Ganis, just because Mal'Ganis is clutch later in the game when the board's full of Dread Steeds. As long as it's not too full. I like Bash. Definitely made the fatigue style war I like possible. And another 40 dust. And another 40 dust. I like Cutpurse. He's a little hard to pull off with the way that Hearthstone currently plays, but sometimes when you play at lower ranks, he just makes the games work. So Worm Rest Agent is a key part of the Dragon Priest, but I'm missing that key, those key epics
Cool. Rare.
Hey, another one of those. Maybe I will have to play Joust deck at some point. Huh, oh well. Even every time you get a card you already have, it's dust. And dust is good.
Rare.
So getting towards the end of it. With every pack you draw that you go without a legendary, it does slowly increase the odds of drawing another one. So maybe we'll find one more today. Maybe we can. Professor Peltress would be another... I like that animation. Confessor Peltress would be a good legendary that I don't have from the Grand Tournament. It would be a nice pickup. Might be fun to make a deck that is all vanilla cards with good stats and see how well it does. No battle cry tries, no death rattles, no aura effects. Just big beefy minions. Well, one more epic in this pack. That's always fun to get. Coda Rider's a fun card. So here we are with our last 3 packs. If anyone's still watching this, thank you. And our last Grand Tournament pack is Dust. Last GVG. And at least we get a little bit of extra dust with double rares. And the last pack for tonight, I'd like to thank you for staying. I'd like to thank my girlfriend for making, for the surprise gift that gave me this stupid idea on the spur of the moment. And let's see what this last pack holds. Alright, so one more epic is good. Flare, a good card to have, but you never had it in your deck. And I believe I already have a Cabal Shadow Priest. So here is the fun part where I make this spreadsheet that I've been showing off work. The way that I did this is I'm going to move so the way that I did this, let's actually see if this works the way that I think it will. 1, that needs to go away. And if I edit, does it show up? No. So I have 3 main tabs here. We have the list, which is one day I went through and listed all the cards from every set that I did not have. It took a little bit of time, but so I went through and listed all the cards by set, the rarity, how many that I needed, the class, and the card. This over here is how I keep track of what cards I've pulled in the packs that I've opened, and that's why. Apologize, I should have planned before I started this up. If anybody is interested in this, you can keep watching, but we are done with opening packs for the night. So what I did is I listed all the sets, all the cards that I needed. Then the data sheet has formulas that sum up all of the legendaries that are missing, all the epics, rares, and commons. It uses a sum if because this formula works. I made this a couple months ago and I forget how I did it. But because you're able to use the query tool, I can look for the number of cards where it's a legendary and a classic. And that's how it automatically pulls that I'm missing 18 classic legendaries. And then it's just formulas that add up. And the way that I keep track of it is whenever I finish opening a pack, I go to the collection and I go through all of the new. And if it's a card that I haven't finished yet, I take it off the list. So I recently did start watching other streamers and have learned some things about ways to maximize your return. So at this point, I'm no longer disenchanting until I have all the dust that I need to complete a playset. Just in case on the really small chance that they nerf something, maybe make, if they nerf Druid the Saber, I could get more value out of that dust. So we did get a new golden mark of nature, but Soul of Forest we already had a playset of. Already had a playset of Keeper of the Grove. I'm not sure if I had a playset of Wild Walkers. So I just search and realize I've been showing the wrong scene. I'll search for Wild Walker, and I already had a playset. Did I have a playset of Nourish? Yes, I did. So I probably had a Druid of Fang. I did not have Dark Whispers. So in fact, I had no Dark Whispers until now. So I go to the spreadsheet, pull up the list, and remove Dark Whispers. When I do that, it means that it is pulled, because all the formulas are live. As soon as I remove Dark Whispers, in this case I just go from I need 2 to I need 1, it updates. And I like to keep track of how much value I'm getting out of my packs, so I keep track of, okay, I have I've gained 1 epic in this set that I did not have, which will come in on our third tab, which is pack values. Now, then I just go through and look for all the cards I have. I've gained that are new, so I did not have a recycle. So that is a rare that we now have. And I'm going to be honest, this is going to be about 20 minutes of me just quietly going between the spreadsheet and my collection, which will be even more boring than this stream has been so far. So if anybody is actually tuned in, or if anybody watches this after the fact, I'd like to thank you, and hope you have a good day, and this was a fun little experiment for me.